On the afternoon of November 22, 1963, one of the most astonishing events in the history of U.S. law enforcement took place at Parkland Hospital in Dallas. It involved a confrontation between agents of the Secret Service and hospital personnel. After President John F. Kennedy was declared dead at Parkland Hospital, his body was placed into an expensive bronze ornate casket that had just been ordered and delivered by O'Neill Funeral Home in Dallas. Agents of the Secret Service immediately took control over the casket and began removing it from the hospital over the vehement objections of the Dallas County Medical Examiner, Dr. Earl Rose, who was the hospital's chief of forensic pathology. Rose told the agents that they weren't going anywhere with the casket, at least not until an autopsy had been conducted. Since a murder had just taken place, Texas law required an autopsy to be conducted on the victim's body. The purpose of an autopsy is to determine how the victim was killed. In the ideal case, it's conducted by a forensics pathologist, one trained in violent deaths. The pathologist carefully examines the shooting victim's body, searches for bullets and removes them, probes bullet holes with rods, has photographs and x-rays taken, and fills out an official autopsy report detailing his findings. In a sense, the victim's body is a crime scene, one that must be carefully preserved, examined, and reported on. What was the Secret Service's attitude toward Rose? The agents confronting him clearly had one mission: to prevent Texas officials from conducting an autopsy on the president's body and to get it out of Parkland Hospital immediately and delivered to Dallas Love Field, where it would be immediately flown back to Washington, D.C. In his book Conspiracy of Silence, Dr. Charles Crenshaw, one of the physicians who had attended to the president's wounds, stated that he had heard the men in suits telling hospital pathologists Vernon Stembridge and Sidney Stewart that they had orders to take the president's body back to Washington, D.C. just as soon as it was ready to be moved, that there would be no Texas autopsy. What jurisdiction did the Secret Service have over the president's body? None. At that time, it was not a federal offense to assassinate the president. Thus, when Kennedy was shot and killed, the federal government had no jurisdiction over the matter at all. That, of course, included the Secret Service. Nonetheless, the Secret Service agents at Parkland Hospital made it clear to Parkland Hospital officials that they had absolutely no intention of permitting Texas officials to conduct the autopsy required by law. Brandishing guns, they began screaming and yelling for people to get out of their way. When Rose blocked their way, emphasizing to them that Texas law required the autopsy to be conducted, the agents flew into a fit of loud, angry profanities, exposed their guns, and began forcibly pushing people out of the way as they wheeled the casket out of the hospital.